as we get into neutralizing the sun interface, I'm wearing the same shirt from yesterday because I'm going through space anomalies and communication centers. The activation lights and light signals are setting up the code frequencies. It's affecting everything through the grounds of its Earth and its powers and its atmosphere systems. So it's understanding how to use the mind collaboration centers and interface connections, how it rebounds on surfaces and levels when it comes to the materialistic system. White graphing of a shirt location. It's allocated positions. It's kind of like, if you look at my shirt, you can see it's a map sequence, it's a map code, and it's division and patterns. See how it moves, right? These are all geometric shapes on communications. My digital frames and my perceptions are changing right now. I went to get a coffee and I saw the digital frame of the people now. So it's getting stronger through its wind force. It's changing everything, the average systems, all perception divisions. Light code is coming into interference to the Earth, the 5-dimensional Earth system. So that's why I'm wearing the same shirt today and the hat. So it's kind of like you're repeating something, right? And something has to be done. Like I said, with the Earth system, I was using the laser connections and setting up anomalies, energies of vibrations through panel activations. The code frequency level is changing everything through the ground formations, powers, and the atmosphere systems. So that's why I'm wearing the same shirt. To understand the metric system and the map sequence of the level codes. Remember, we're talking about the AI map code sequency level. Well, coming into the map room. The map room is this location when it comes to communication centers of all planet locations. So that sets course to all your alignments of fragmentations coming into all division levels of your digital framing system. It's extremely powerful stuff. But first, I'd like to thank all the subscribers and viewers and everybody that's watching my channel as we keep grand rising, force rising, keep forcing everything through communication with ourselves, understanding more of ourselves each day. So other than that, yesterday's test was really good. Anything through Jules, Tina, and Melissa, they can go through that formation and they understand more communication. Jasmine just came to me through completing the test. So I'm going to upwind her cycles on communications. The ferrules and divisions and the meridians are going to go into transmission light systems. They're going to do the exact same thing from yesterday, but because she's in a division level through snake rotation, her wind spins and her tail representation through her galactic families on communication signals, because she's already connected to the pharaohs and the Egyptians. So it's kind of like understanding that, knowing where she is through division. So those 12 central system moons and communication signals are going in attraction divisions of 15 moon interfaces. So you have the pharaohs and meridians going into you now, Jasmine, and that's going to help you and provide you and get you into level communication centers, into the atmosphere systems. So congrats on that. So now it's just trying to get used to your 15 chakras, which are not chakras. There are 15 central system moons at communication through interference of locations. So you understand the moon interface. The moon interface has locations of 8 central systems, okay? It has so many core recognitions, it has so many alignments, it's a pattern division. Every moon is a computer. You're a computer, so you understand the moon of its computer, so you understand the algorithm of your computer through its program of its algorithm system. That's a digital frame. Okay, so that's how you're able to see everything through perceptions. So that's going to change everything through activation code systems. So other than that, you have any questions or comments, go over my email, PayPal, or donations. Help you and guide you and put you in your levels of communication centers, anything through your ascension, anything through your lights, transformations, metamorphosing, and all divisions into your algorithm program. Okay, so basically, let's start with the blue circle rotation center. Now, you have to understand the Earth system. Okay, let's just say this is the Earth. Okay. Do a very quick drawing here. Okay, everything on angle points, you have to understand how the Earth system of the dimensional Earth rotates and cycles to the atmosphere system. So it's it's an aspheric. Aspheric is its location. That sets its light communications of its codes. So I'm changing transformation lights and communication angle points, and then you have the sun here, okay, all right, and you have the moon here. Okay, they're always close by. They're always connecting, right? Always connecting. So, and like I said, in the daytime, I can see the sun and the moon interference through its connection. So you have the center point division level, right? Through the sun. The sun. Okay, so once you reach the space connection, you understand more communications of yourself. So the moon interface is in its location. The center core is its direction. Okay, so this is the sun, this is the moon, right? And this is the earth. Okay, so it's channel point divisions of spot location systems, split, divide in locations like this. Okay, so it's on the other side, right? Remember it was like this, now it's like this. So that's the channel position. Channel position everything through light signals. So the sun interface is allocating positions, okay? And the moon interface is allocating positions of algorithms of information. So it's setting new locations of radiation. So it's spreading like a sprinkler, like this, okay? Right, that's what the sun interface is doing to the dimension Earth. And the moon interface is connecting. So it's setting out sound barriers like this. Okay, so it's a combination of two. Right? So you got the sun interference with the radiation patterns, the code frequency levels, and then you have the moon interface that's connecting through sonar division. That activates its light signal through the correlation systems like this. Okay, at panel activations and the circuit rotates, sets new algorithm programs into humanity's system. Okay, and the sun interface, basically, it's like a sprinkler. It's setting up new locations of digital formats into the number of sequences. So we're coming into the alien pro-gamma energy system. Okay. Okay, so alien program gamma energy system. Okay, all communications now. And again, you have the X2000s coming in. Remember, always, always, always you'll see X2000s all around the sun and all around the moon. It's very important there to protect it. So we have so many levels of X2000s, and then you have the archetypes. And everything through the moon interface has its own visions and has its own X2000s. So everything's protected. And it circulates and rotates. So its center chords its division, right? So nothing can get in its space. So it has its energetic system, right? Okay, so that's the moon. That's the X2000s around it. Okay, and then you have the sun, right? So as they're doing the radiation and as they're doing the new algorithm of its program through its interface, it's connecting. Okay, so everything's connecting through a story. So you have to understand everything through its connection when you come into the alien program gamma energy systems. That's why I want everybody through the force team to understand the map locations, map sequence levels. Understand that you can use your shirt as an interface. You can use it to its relation. You can use it to teleportation. This is a map sequence level of the shirt recognition system. This is a light illumination light system that's connected to its anomaly system. That's what this shirt is, right? You see the coloration pattern, right? So you have to understand how to put two and two together. So it singles out through location and sets new coordinates. The coordinates sets everything to its panel activations. You know the panel activations? Then you get the block interference and you get the paradox paradigm. So you're always paradigm shifting every single time through teleportation and energy transference through its interface connections. The interlocation is everything through all levels through your formations of your body activation systems because it sets its digital frames. So as you see, this is what's going on right now with the sun interface and everything through the moon interface. Okay? So anyway, how's everybody doing today? It's amazing when you reach these levels, you know, because your perception changes every single day, right? Your channel divisions, your acting cycles, your gamma signals, your radiation patterns, your location centers, your algorithm human history system. Human history system is understanding your human vessel from your 3D aspects of your past, present, and future. Remember, it's tiny bit allocated through 12 divisional levels, so 12 central systems and 12 universal systems. That's allocated through positions. Remember, it's about the 12 Godheads. Now it's near the moon interfaces. Now you got 15. All right. So understanding your chakra system is completely understanding communications through your moon interfaces. So each planet is located through its moon interface, which is the biggest computer system. And the sun is the biggest when it comes to radiation of lights. That's the power. They give you both power, right? They recognize your body systems through the holographic view, which is your computer digital frame. That changes everything through location, right? So anyway, I like to get more into the map room sequence. The frequency levels of digital frame. Yesterday was a very powerful video. We were talking about the frequency levels of weather containments, how we go into the spheric. Understanding the metric system is understanding locations. E equals mc squared, take it out of this equation, right? But once you get past that, and once you get past pi, helix, hydron, now you get into higher levels of intelligence and knowledge. So it's understanding. When you wake up in the morning, you know exactly how to communicate with the sun interface. You'll see the coloration pattern. You'll see what the sun is doing through rotation. Same with the moon interface, how it has its own behavioral systems, right? So you have to understand why there's so many reacting cycles through your bodies every day. Your body is reacting to everything through its human behavior, through its vibration. Those are the moons that are in your central system of your body frames. That's your digital system that's connected to everything through the sun interface and everything through the moon interface, right? The God frequency levels, 12 central systems. Each moon has a fragmentation line that's connected to the 8th circle, 8th center, okay? It's the activation light system. It correlates in all division levels of intelligence, okay? The figure 8, okay? The figure 8, right? So it's changing positions, right? Okay. Okay. So you have to really understand, this is understanding, it's loop-de-loop, but you have to understand the line signals. You have to understand why it's the figure 8, because this is not a figure 8. This is a rotation center to the universal system. Okay. So once you understand numbers, once you understand letters, okay, and once you understand shapes, everything connects into one. Okay. So it's bringing all those numbers into one frequency line system and singularity line division into one panel activation through a code frequency, which is an atom system. That atom system goes into the connections to your body frames as it comes in, right? One comes in, another comes in, another comes in, and it's all about coming into one. And it comes into one line sequence, right? And that's where it goes beyond anything through the yin and yang. So once you get into this, there's extremely high formation because we're understand communications of code frequencies. If you get this, it's extremely powerful, right? This is extremely powerful. Okay, and then you go 6, and then you go 5. Okay, so you have to understand where all these codes are coming from, right? So instead of seeing this as an 8, see it as that intelligence signal, because it rotates in so many circles of galaxy rotations of universal systems. That's what the 8 represents, okay? We call it the whole Trinity, okay? It's a universal Trinity, okay? When it comes to peace, when it comes to everything through revolution. It's the communication line signal that's connected to the universal system. These are the energy patterns, and that's why we create it as a figure 8, right? Remember, when we created shapes, letters, and numbers, you understand allocated positions. Every time you get a dream sequence of a number, intelligence is trying to communicate through you, through universal system. That's understanding everything through the point centers of its figure 8. Okay, then you understand how it comes together into a planet location. All right? So if you look at this, 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 you can see it's coming into a flower, right? See that? Remember I was talking about? There's the stem. And here's the, just to show you a little bit, right? So it's a flower of life. So understand the energy system through its connection and its digital frame. You have your sun interface and the moon interface through its connection. It becomes a completely planet system through location. That planet location comes out of its algorithm system, of its digital frame, security line defense, into high rise, into a planet location. All right, then you have the archetypes come in. Okay, they keep the grounds level from the planets, and they keep it on rotation spins. So that's why when you guys see things going around your body systems, those are the archetypes that keep in your body frames into space. So it's altitude in your divisions of atmospheres, so your oxygen levels. That's why you have archetypes going around you. That's why you see things in the atmosphere systems. Everything's protection through lights. Okay, but that's how you create a planet, through these. Right? Everything's a communication signal through shape, letters, and numbers. Okay? So once we get into that, we get into all connections into the alien map sequences. Okay, that low device, medium device, and high device is everything through your mechanisms of your devices. That changes everything through location center. That's allocated positions, red interface connection, right? So this is understanding that this psychometry. Now, this is a red top division through a white interface. Okay, so platitude division splits in division. Okay, so you get 2-point divisions, right? 1 is red, 2 is white. Now, if I platitude and I put it here and I actually touch it, now it's communicating through my white interface, through its materialistic system of its shirt. The illumination of its light sky is communicating with the galaxies. The galaxies communicating with the universe is communicating with everything, sun interface and moon interface, just by touching my body frame. Okay? Because it's a different color. So it's reacting, right? If I do this, it's communicating through balance because it's the same color, right? So that's a reacting signal through universal system. It knows exactly what different colorations are going through your prognostic systems, and everything through your diagnostics, or anything through triangular, angular, or anything through telekinesis. Telekinesis through red interface or telekinesis through white interface, because this is balance, this isn't. So it has to find balance with your body frames through your digital of its illumination light, of its materialistic, of its platform system, because you're a chest protector through a digital frame. That digital frame is your perception through division, through universal systems. So you use this. If you do this, you understand that it's reacting to the universe because it's a different color. But if you change it around, it balances out because it's the same color. So you have to understand reactions of the universe, right? Because it has ripple effects. It has sound waves, right? That's where you got to keep your audio signals open and your perceptions and divisions and everything through its light activation and protection, right? So these are little tips and trades that you have to understand. So anyway, how's everybody doing so far? Okay, Tina, Melissa, Starseed, Melissa. Yeah. Well, because you're in high division, Starseed, that's why you feel the effect. And then I just finished it through confirmation through the pharaohs and the meridians, because you're already connected to the Egyptians. And because you're already a light serpent of light, that communication alone will put you into that division of 5 central systems of moons now through your chakra systems. So congrats, Starseed. I went into Unity test. Yeah. Hi, all fam. And the thing is, too, everything is a test. Like I said, your life is a test, right? Your communication signals are a test. Your algorithm programs signals are a test. Your activation light signals through your mind systems are a test. Your perception through division through electronic interference is a test. Everything through light signals, through activations of your perimeters, or anything through the gamma signals, or anything through rotations of centers. All this is a test, right? Everything is a test that's given to you, right? So I told you exactly what happens when you have a shirt through an interface and it's white. The illumination of the light sky communicating through sun interference. If you use a different color, it's going to have a reacting center through your body system, right? It's green, right? So now it's reacting. See? If it's this, it won't react because it already has its partnership. If it's green, it reacts. See? So it's not just communication with your body frames, it's communicating through the universal system, because that's how you communicate through its lights. So you have to master everything through light interference, and the communication through its green interface and white interface. You have the two division levels of the atom system, rotation center, so the location system, put it into the algorithm of its prognostic system. Okay, now these are the fingertip point systems, right? This is dimensional Earth. Okay, so you have the tip here and tip here. Now you put it in to its division, the atom system in the center through its circular rotation center. Okay, so if you take it out as an equation, you can interforce the connections, and you can change the green to white if you want to, right, through your perception. But you have to understand the illumination light and where it's coming from through communication. You have to understand the dimensions and its portal and its code frequencies. You can change anything through channel of information, but you really have to understand this marker. Okay? If you understand the marker, if you understand the coloration, you can take this out of the matrix, right? Everything that's white, okay, is communication of partnership. Anything that's green and white is communication of matrix. So it's knowing how to take this out and get it into the same color, communicate its levels into the white interface through your shirt. This is a shirt, but it's not a shirt in space. Okay? It's kind of like a breastplate. You know, like archangels, they wear a breastplate, right? They have their wings and all that, right? Some are gold, all different colors, right? So it's understanding all colors through the rainbow divisions of your body framing systems, which connect to all your algorithm patterns, which is connected to your holographic system of you. Okay? So that's how you get balance. So you get balance with the universe and their voicing grids, because the universe has a voicing grid. You have a voicing grid. So it's understanding how to change the colorations into the septical system of your body frames, all right? Into the line division, okay? Because if you don't understand the answering patterns of the universal system, you're gonna have reacting cycles through colorations and keep you in the matrix system. So we're gonna use the red interface through connection. Now the line sequencing levels of line division, okay? Now what I mean by that is line sequences. Okay, sequences is 2, right? So that's line sequences, 1, 2, right? So you have to understand what you're saying through solar text. Line sequences of line division of line sequencing of 1 division. So line sequences, so that's 2, 1 line division, right? Cross-reference. Okay? And then you got the point center. It's almost like tic-tac-toe. Now, you have to understand everything through communication. This is your atom system. This is you in the center core system. How do I communicate with this line? How do I communicate with this line? Because it's in its center and it's not touching the line sequences, is it? Right? So allocated position, it has to understand its interference. Right? Once it understands its rhythm pattern, remember I was telling you when I was doing the galactic, the Force Team private link, where you saw the Rubik's Cube and you saw the atom circling around and couldn't get out of the cube, right? The cubic. It's going around like this. Well, once it finds its own rhythm, once it finds its own intelligence, it can get out of its cube. That's the understanding that it has to understand where it's rotating. So everything has a fallout. You have to understand the changing of its rhythm. Then you can change its rhythm through its coloration. That's what I'm saying is you can change the red to white through reactions. So once you find, it's called a slip knot. Now, a slip knot is understanding that the rotation, this is really complicated stuff, guys. The Rubik's Cube goes on so many different angles in space, okay, because it's not a cube, right? So it's understanding where it spins, how fast it spins, and what dimension it's in. So once the atom system understands location, it can go through a slip knot and go through another dimension and come out of the matrix cube, all right? So when it comes out of its matrix cube, it comes out of its location. Okay. So it's fascinating stuff when you get into those divisions. You know, I like to work with line division because it is singularity, right? It's coming into the singularity line division. Because your mind conceptual system is nothing but line sequences, line divisions, line levels, allocated in all positions when you come to map sequencing levels of alien connections, right? Alien the interconnections of interfacing of intelligence. It's a black interface again. So it's really getting connected through protection and getting connected with balance through colors, right? Through your body frames. Remember, you scan everything out, but as soon as you touch it, it reacts right away, okay? Because the universal system is communicating through my shirt, which is an interface, or it's illumination light sky, right? An illumination light sky is understanding the sun interface is communicating through the atmospheres. The atmospheres change its coloration. That's why you see gray. That's why you see white. Sometimes you see colors. But then if you have the sun and you have the cloud in front, then you'll see the true coloration of the cloud, the true coloration of its portal, right? And its true coloration of its shape through its dimension. So there's a lot of things that you can adapt to, right? Because everything blends in. Right? That's how we connect through the galaxies, through anomalies, right? So it's really fascinating when we get into that. Now, if you get into tic-tac-toe, like this, right? Okay, so it's understanding. We have another test, it's an evaluation. This is an evaluation, it's singularly line division. Okay, line sequences, line levels through your atom system. Okay, so you got one line signal, two line signal. You got a graphing line signal coming down, and you got another graphing signal. The reason we say graphing, because this is a graph, right? So it's understanding intelligence when you come into the complete circle of what it is, right? Complete circle of what it is. Okay? It's powerful stuff because it's intelligence. So it's communicating with the line signals through the graphing center. Okay? Allocated position, you can put a star, you can put a triangle, you can put a diamond or anything, you can put anything to its division. But the most important thing is to take it out of its equation every single time, right? So it's all about upgrades, the colorations of matrix, right? That's why you call it a spheric. Okay, it's the metric system, right? It's a magnetic force. It's taking that shape, okay, out of its alignment through its line sequencing of its line system through singularity line division of a graphing circle. Okay, this is the atmospheres that you go up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So once it comes out of its equation, right, it can change its anomalies and go into any direction of any location. Okay. So it's a lot of fun when you get up to those problems, you know. It's solving a problem that's already solved. It's the knowledge that's already there, okay? It's the knowledge that is already there through provisions, mapping cycles, your human behavioral system. You have to understand anything through line sequencing, as soon as you put it down, it has its own behavior. It has its intelligence, its soul recognition, but it's a marker division, right? So it's knowing the answer already, okay? That's what you have to understand. It's complicated because that's how universal works with the voicing grid patterns, right? So but I'll keep you informed of what's going on, and also keep you informed what's going on with the webinar. It's going to be a bit. I have to get things set up and all that. So, but other than that, the evaluation is going to be based on that singularity line division through line sequences. Okay, this is a big one because I want you to illustrate and draw it out for me. Okay, so you got to know the metric system that is spheric of its atmospheres. Okay, that's where you come into the metrics of its magnetic force. How you actually take things out of the equation when it's stuck in its matrix location. But I want you to actually put it in its location of its metric system. So if you have to understand how to use your vocabulary through line and security of its defense, right? So you understand the defense, you understand it's not offense, okay? It's not self-defense. It's only security and defense. Security and line defense, okay? We don't have offense. Offense is more based on protection of lights. That's a high division, but we don't use that because everything in space has its own protection of lights. Okay, so it's not based on martial arts, right? Because the first thing that we look at is defense only, right? I watched Karate Kid last night. Fantastic movie. Fantastic movie. There's a lot to say with that, for defense only, when basically when Daniel LaRusso was getting beat up in the park, and Miyagi came in and saved the day, and then took him back and then healed him up, and he says, "Okay, can you teach me?" And I said, no. He didn't want to get involved, so he came to realize how important it is, because then that's how they became friends and all that. But then he told Daniel LaRusso, he said, "Listen, you're saying that karate's here, karate's never here. Okay, it's only here and here. The mind, the heart, but never here. Okay, so it's the gut. Okay, it's undeciphered, it's undecision. There's no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher, right? Which is very true to nature. People come across that, right? Whatever sensei say, student do, right? So I picked up a lot on that. It's pretty powerful stuff when you go through these, right? The same thing with markers. Understand what the marker is. What is the marker? What is the marker for? What does it do? What's the intelligence? Why is this white? Why is this red? Well, it's a topping, right? It covers it up, protects this, right? So it's understanding the research of things, right? There's the protection right there. So you don't, like I said, you don't get your, you get no marker on your hand, right? But to draw, to illustrate, to communicate, to teleport, anything through line division is to understand the universal system through its voice and patterns. Okay, and you have to understand the colorations of its reactions. As soon as you put it on your shirt, right, because it reacts. It doesn't react when it's white because it's balanced. So your pixels are activating. So basically, this is what it is. When you see your digital frame, if this is a different number and you're plotting this division and you're putting it here, it's going to have a reaction because it's a different number that's in your mechanisms or your holographic system. So this communication here is green, but you're hitting it through red, right? So this is green here. So you understand everything that's connected through your body frame is a holographic, and it's all pixels. It's a resolution pattern through digital format, which is a TV reception. Like I said, your light system consists on so many levels of electronic interference. Okay, so this is the box framing system. And then you got little pixels like this. Okay, little resolution patterns, okay? Starts off like this. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole screen, but you understand it. If you go really close, you'll see the pixels in all different colorations, okay? See that? Now, it's understanding the colorations, okay? It's understanding the colorations through the pixels. So if I'm reacting, and this pixel here is blue, but this is red, it's going to have a reaction signal, right? So if it has a reaction signal, it's going to go like this. Okay? If you do another color, it does this. So everything has a reaction, right? So my TV reception and my body frames, my algorithm of my digital formats are changing locations of vibrations every single time. Okay, if I plotted to division through coloration and I just do that, scan, right? It just has a reacting center. And it automatically does it because I have mastering skills through the inner cycle. So it's knowing your body frames completely, right? So if you hit it on the right color, it doesn't react through your body frames. It only reacts if it's a different coloration. Because you're pixels. We got into the holographic system already, but I'm just showing you what happens when it goes through the reacting cycles through vibration. Okay. So that's something to bring to everybody's attention. Cobra Kai, yeah, I watched that twice already. Yeah, there's season 3 coming in. Yeah. So after 30 years, back phrasing, yeah. Back phrasing is good. You learn a lot too. And the more you watch my videos, the more and more you get to understand. It's understanding the creation of you. It's understanding the creation of your mind. It's understanding the creation of your heart, and it's understanding the creation of your soul. How it all connects to the simulation. Because everything is reaction. Okay, everything is reaction. Okay. As soon as I do this with the curtain, that's reacting. As soon as I turn on this light, that's reacting. Okay, right? I'm touching this. See, it's a planet here. See that? That's reaction, right? So my hand information is communication through this planet interface, right? Okay. My realm division, my portal activation. As soon as I touch this, that's reacting. Why? Because I'm wearing a white interface and I'm touching brown. If this was white, it wouldn't have a reaction. So it has to change the digital frame. It has to communicate through your level of division of balance, right? So that's what I'm saying. You have to scan things first before you touch, or you get a reaction. See? So it's really understanding your body frames, your digital frames, your main frames, your perception frames, okay? The frame of you, the scanning of you, your pixels of you, your resolution patterns of you, your locations of you, okay? That's why it's important to understand these things, okay? So if you understand that, then you understand more of its creation, because you are a creation from space and time. So it's getting the projection of everything through your connection. That force rises everything through speed, velocity, spectrum, lights, coloration, intelligence, planets, locations, acting, reacting, resurfacing, realigning, readjusting, refocusing, reconstructing, right? Destructuring, right? Rebuilding, relocating, to locating. All this is done through the mind system, right? Through lights, right? This is a coloration of white. This is a coloration of red, right? Now you think it's black, but it's red. Why? Because it's in its division. You see it as black, but I see it as red. See? That's understanding where you are, okay? Because everything that I wear, okay, is in my speed velocity, okay? Because I'm zero gravity, okay? So you see this as black, but I see it as red. That means that the coloration patterns have changed, okay? That's the balance. So it's how to balance this hat from black to red, okay? Because it's a communication, right? I had to figure these things out through my program of this computer system. That's why you see the sky is blue, but it's not. It's a resolution, right? But when you look up, it's black. It's the same thing, right? But I don't know what color you guys see the hat, but it's not black. It's red. Okay, it's complicated. It's extremely complicated. All right. So it's understanding that your vibrations are going faster and faster and faster and faster. So the faster you go, the more you change the coloration patterns, the more you change through lights, and the more you change through intelligence of knowledge. Okay. So you have the planet interface, locations of electronic interference. It interfaces with anything through connection, right? Okay, there's another shift. See, there's a portal. See that? See that lacing line? So you see a dark blue, a light blue, and a white. Okay, here's the portal, right? And remember, I don't have to touch it because I already understand its balance. So I have balance with the codes, I have balance with projection, I have balance with the lights, and I have balance with its correlations of its dimensions, its portal activation through the coordinates of its division. Because it coordinates on all levels, right, through coloration patterns, right? So dark blue, light blue, white, right? I mean, you can actually see it. And it's reflecting here too, right? Well, here is a reflection. Everything is a reflection. It's just understanding where everything's coming from. So if I take this away, now it's on a different communication, right? And now you start to see the planet again. Okay? So that means I traveled further into space, or traveled this way, or traveled that way. So you travel north, south, west, or east. Okay? But you're constantly flying in space. And if I do this again, this changes it again, right? Through another illumination light, right? So everything changes again, right? So it's fascinating how you change locations or dimensions, right? And again, you see the planet, same line, right? It's amazing how you see these things, guys. So it's really getting connected with that, okay? Now, as a three-dimensional system, yeah, this is black, but it's red to me because I'm at that dimension through portal, through codes, right? So it's your body reacting to everything that you wear. That's its connection when it comes to energy, frequencies, and vibrations through harmonic resistance. So you're communicating with your materialism. You're communicating with your phone, right? You have to get bounced with your phone or it's going to be off cycles. The reacting center of the spot frequency level of electronic division through its connection, its interface, is not going to connect with your body frames if you don't understand the patterns, if you don't understand the microchips, if you don't understand the wire system, okay? The positive and negative. It's getting communication through your body frames and its mind frames and its main frames through its perception, right? So, and that's what I'm saying. When you look up at the sky, you see it blue, right? But it's not, it's black. So it's understanding what dimension you're in every single day, okay? And your thoughts, wherever you go with your thoughts goes to your dimension. Either you're in the past, present, or future with your questions. That's why it allocates positions. So if you know past reference of people, that's going to come into your dimension. If you know presence of people, that's going to come into your dimension. If you know anybody that you connect through, remember, your thoughts are everything through space. So if you're thinking of something and it's somebody in the future, okay, that you've already seen before, that's deja vu. But if you put it in your mind system, it's going to be open up its portal through its division of its dimension, and you're going to see that person. So it's understanding that you can have three alignments systems into one frequency time of one present system. Okay, it's really, really powerful stuff because it plays with the mind, right? Because it allocates positions through your past, present, and future. So if you put your pattern divisions and your thoughts into the past of people, they will come into your division of dimension. So be cautious on that, right? And you certainly don't want to be thinking about your enemies, any people that you like or people that you don't like, okay? Because as soon as you create that thought, that becomes into your dimension, okay? So maybe that'll help you out. So it's understanding your portals and your dimensions, because people that you have in your mind can come to life into the physicality of its world through its thought, okay? Right? So don't play with fire, right? If you don't know how to put it out, all right? So how's that for video, eh? Very powerful, isn't it? Bet you didn't know that. Anybody you come across is past, present, and future through your alignment of your life stream. As soon as you have that thought, that person will come into your portal of dimension. So just be cautious. That's all. I see dark blue, light blue, green, white. Yep. Yeah, you're coming into communications of your rainbow divisions of electronic interference, the grounds, powers, and everything the atmosphere says. It's coming into its balance to its moon interface. That's 15 chakra divisions there, Tina. That's why I have only been reconnecting with soul family, because I have future with them. See, that's it. So whatever you're communicating with through your thoughts, that's your portal. That's your division. That's the people that are going to come into your life. Remember, whatever you create in your thought is illustration of illumination of a dark frequency level, of a light frequency level. Okay, it's very important to understand these things, because you're taking people out of your portal and you're putting them into your division of dimension through the physicality of the fifth dimension. Okay, so be cautious on your thoughts. Okay, because a lot of people are coming to me about that and say, well, I'm seeing this and I'm seeing that. Well, did you create it? Did you ask this person to come? Or did you just think about it? Even if you think about it, it doesn't matter. It goes into the mind system. Guys, you have to remember, when you're in space, it's extremely real, okay? Because you're connecting to the universal system of the voicing grids, to the magnetic force and highway information system, okay? You're not allocated to three-dimensional systems anyway through the density of its alloy, okay? You're in the anti-carrion division, right? Even anti-carrion division has a higher division through lights or activations. Your center core is everything because you're not in the chakra systems now. You're in the planet locations of intelligence. So be very, very cautious on your thoughts and who you bring into your portal of division through your code frequencies. Okay. So, and you're probably wondering why you get these things from emails or whatever. Oh, I don't know this person. Well, it's a thought that you created. Okay. So don't create that thought if you don't want it. Because as soon as you create that thought, it comes into your portal. Portals are very real. You know that because you see them come into my room. You see them flying around, right? So you know space is real. So if I want archetypes to come in, right, I have to understand the coloration, lights, interference, its connection, activations, its algorithm, its program, its setting, and its computer system, and the speed velocity through its portal realm, its code frequency level, right? Then I can bring it into my realm division through portal activation, okay? So you have to really understand your communications of your thoughts. Just be cautious on your thoughts through creation. That's all. Okay? And say, man, I don't like this person. No, that's fine. But if you create that person in your mind, that person's going to come into your portal. All because of your thought. Because reality kicks in, illustration kicks in, coloration kicks in, light kicks in, activation, program, setting. So you're creating the physicality system of that person that you don't want to meet. But you create that thought anyway, right? Say you're having a bad day. Well, I hate that person. And then you say the name. Well, now you have the name. Now you have the person. If it comes to realization, it's going to come into your portal division. All right? And it becomes extremely real. These people that you know, okay, because you have a central system, 6 within its center. It's usually connected to the family, circle rotation. So anything out of that 6, okay, will come out of its portal activation into your dimension just by your thoughts. Okay? So that's why I don't have reference of past people. I don't create it in my mind because they'll come into my life in my presence of its life stream. Okay? You know, they don't even have to be awake. Okay? But because you're smart, because you have knowledge and intelligence, and because you understand your mind system, you can be aligned to these people. Your energetic systems that understands the mind system through collaboration of portals and activation of codes, your decoding methods or anything through light activation, through your central systems. So whatever you create comes into your dimension. All right? So, Catherine? I think people really have to understand how powerful your past, present, and future is. I set new alignments for your past. Okay? That's what you have to understand. So, you know? You really have to get into all those things before you get into anything contraction, division, of balance. Once you get balanced with yourself, there's nothing that you can't do. If you master yourself within, there's nothing that you can't do. Okay? But if you create thoughts in your mind, it becomes knowledge, intelligence. Now, the only thing left is its realization. And then you open that portal, it's in your dimension. And it's going to come into your life system. Okay? All because of a mistake. That's why problems with humans or anything through species or anything through that division. It's whatever you create, right? You know? anything. It doesn't have, it can be anything. Something you dream or that was extremely real. You got to come into, the mystical side. Like, we're not talking about vampires or warlords or witches or anything like that. You have to be at a higher division to understand these things, because they're extremely real through the mind system and all over the earth system. Okay? So you have to understand the diagnostics and the soul recognition through spiritualism. That's how you understand the locations of their perceptions and everything through provisions, hacking cycles, where they are through the transmission lights, where they are through the planet location of their chakras, where they are through the energies of electronic interference. It's the soul you have to recognize through everybody, right? So, and that's the mystical side, right? So just be cautious on that, what you create. Now is the time, because you guys are in the cyberspace, You don't want to have that. You don't want that floating on your head, because everything through its creation is the mind system. Because you're allocated positions and you understand more of your solar texts, you understand more of your tests, evaluations, reviews. You guys are incredibly smart in space. You just have to know it and remember it. The power comes into you through your lights and protection, right? Because it interforces everything. And portals come open through light or dark, through your creation. It simplifies everything, guys. It simplifies. And that's why you have problems with your algorithms. That's why you have problems with your programs. That's why you have problems with people coming into your life. People that you don't want have people coming into your life, but they come into your life because you opened up their portal. Okay? Right? And these are people maybe in high school or whatever, and all of a sudden, they come to you. You get a phone call. It's unknown. Who's this? Usually you screen them, or you don't, you block it, right? But it doesn't matter, because you open the portal. It's a magnetic force. Either way, you're going to meet that person in the physicality world system. Okay? So you're always going to bump into that person, and the universe will tell you exactly what you just did. Right? That's karma, guys. Either it's good karma or bad karma. Okay? You can put good thoughts or you can put bad thoughts. But because you're allocated in space, because you know more of yourself through intelligence, you understand portals and activations. You can open up anything through portal activation through your life stream, through your past, present, and future, of the people that you want and the people that you don't want. So the people that you don't want, you're not going to put it in your circle of rotation, are you? You're going to keep it out, right? You have a circle. You don't want anybody in that circle that you don't understand. You don't want anybody in that circle that's going to disrupt. You don't want anybody in your circle that's going to corrupt. You don't want anybody in your circle that's going to destroy, right? Because if it gets in its circle and it's a higher formation in you, it's going to destroy everything through your circle. Okay? And then it's going to put you in dark matter. And then it's going to control your body. And then it's going to control everything around you. Okay? Remember, light and dark is extremely powerful. It's understanding the significance and its reference of its dark, but don't live the dark system. Don't create things that you don't want to create. Okay? So I don't expect you to understand the healing, but I do expect you to understand yourself. It's very easy to create thoughts. Right? It's knowing what you're creating. Because whatever you create, you have to get out either way. So don't want to have anybody in your karma wheel. You want to have that karma as a good wheel. You want to force recognize, right? You want to have your family in that relation, because it's energy that's going into everything through communication. Reference to good energy or bad energy, and people that don't understand you, that's okay. They're going to go through their ascension regardless, right? That doesn't mean they're good or bad. It just means that they're going through their own life system. Now, you can't help them with that. They have to realize what's going on with the three-dimensional system of themselves before they get into the ascension. Right? Thoughts are everything through the mind. Okay? So when you master your body completely master your body inside, okay, this is where you can start controlling your body. Okay? So if you can start controlling your body, remember, it's the cerebral cortex that goes up to its division of its percentage. Okay? So please be cautious on your thoughts. Now's the time. Okay, because the vibration winds are getting stronger right now, and I just changed the code frequencies of its dimensional earth through colorations of lights. The code frequencies of the sun interface is changing through the radiation cycles into the garment. The gamma radioactive systems that's connected to the light frequency levels of its location. Okay, so your thought patterns and everything through your past reference and your presence and your future is coming into alignment of one frequency level of one line system. Okay, but humanity is having a huge trying to understand everything through communication of themselves. So if they create all dark, what happens? What happens if they create the dark? What happens? It creates dark matter, right? Puts it in a wormhole. Dark center, dark rotation. Now, if they're allocated positions and they understand their chakra systems, they can take people and put them in their dimension. I got you. You're trapped, right? Not only that person can control its body, but it can control anything through the universal system. Remember, light and dark has communication. It's getting balance and keeping your thoughts and your proactive systems through with positive feeds. Positive feeds, guys. Positive solar texts. Okay, everybody has good days and bad days. And I'm learning a lot now too, because I'm coming in more of a formation, understanding what humans go through deference or anything through destruction or anything through corruption. Okay, because we're all going through the same thing. We're all going through the same thing. This is a major life change. Okay, major life change. And it doesn't help when humanity is on the dark side through dark creation, does it? Dark location, dark voicing grids, dark realms, dark circles, rotations, dark entity force systems. It doesn't help, does it? Right? Because light and dark are always bouncing back and forth. So I'm doing things in space, so it goes a lot faster through its rotation. That's why I platted two divisions into 500 billion years into the future. Right? Because it's affecting everything through humanity. It's affecting everything through computers. It's affecting everything through phones. It's affecting everything through social media. It's affecting everything through governments. It's affecting everything through media. It's affecting everything through corporation. Okay? So understanding the imbalance, understanding the abundance, understanding the sacred of yourself, understanding the surrender. Humanity has to understand how to surrender. That's the only way we can get into line division of one synchronicity line system of one vibration to the Garden of Eden. Okay? So we all have to help each other. Okay? Not talking about stereotypical people that are off the streets and to say, hey, hey, bleep bleep. You're putting out bad information. You're putting out dark energy. You're setting up a new dark cloud. So, you have to understand, if this happens, it spreads and spreads, all because you're voicing grids. Okay, you're mad at the dimensional earth. You're mad at humanity. You're mad at this. You're mad at that, right? Fix it. Meditate. Circular rotate. Find your center, right? Accumulate everything that's going on through traction divisions. Take everything out of its equation through its balance. Everything that you do, you take out of its equation. You guys really have to understand everything starts with E equals MC squared. And I'll tell you again, that's why Einstein was put on this earth. That's why Tesla was to put on this earth. Everything is to get you prepared. Stephen Hawkins. Okay? Me. You. Right? Understand the true creations of you. Right? Put yourself in that position of positive feeds, everything through your circle. But like I said, as soon as you let people in your circle, it changes everything through your dimension. Right? Then you say, whoa, why did this happen? What did I do? You don't even realize it. That's the thing. People don't realize what they're doing. Remember, it only takes a second to create a thought. And even that's fast. Because you're out of the mind system. You're not in the ground formations anymore. You're in space connection. You're communicating through the universe. You're in a higher level through the magnetic force and highway information system now. Right? You got to understand these protections of yourself through light activations. If you don't understand your lights, if you don't understand your circular rotation, if you don't understand your portal code frequencies, if you don't understand your defrags and the fragmentations, you have a serious, serious problem with your intelligence, with yourself. I'm not talking about intelligence in space. Forget that. If you create your system in the dark location, that's going to change everything. And that's going to put you on a bad karma wheel. Okay? And again, this goes back to the 10 Commandments. That's why it was written in Scripture. But like I said, does anybody follow that? No. I've done a video on that. Nobody follows the 10 Commandments. Why? Right? Thou shalt not this, thou shalt not that. There's reasons why everything was put in that position. Everything has history, ancestry. Right? What Jesus did. What did Jesus do with his disciples? He was telling you, he was getting you prepared at what was going to happen in the future. But everybody thought he was crazy. Right? Everybody thought he was crazy. He knew he was telling the truth. Did they understand that? They don't want to hear the truth. Right? That didn't help matters, did it? But it did. It exposed humanity. It changed everything, didn't it? What Jesus did. You know? Xenophon. Ishwa, whatever you want to call it. Okay? You guys got to get out of your rotations of Ashtar. He doesn't exist anymore. He's back in his planet location of, he's on the Dark Force systems. He's back in his locations. Right? It's just me now. He doesn't, he was ruling the systems for so many decades, and I was asleep. I was asleep on a isoco cube division. I was sleeping, sleep deprivation, and locations of illuminations of communications of dream sets. And that's why it was happening with me. But now I'm awake. So, understanding where you're coming from, understanding what's your purpose, understanding what you're doing with humanity, understanding who you are through all divisions of intelligence, through your body frames, and everything through space and connection to time. Okay? Force rising everything through all communications, XT1000s. Everything through balance, through locations of planets. Understanding who you are through creation. Okay? Because I had a lot of people coming up to me, what happened to Ashtar? What happened to Ashtar? You know? Now, he's a figment of your imagination. Okay? So, remember, everything is programmed. Media is programming you. Governments are programming you. Corporations are programming you. You have to program yourself. So, everything that you have to deviate, you have to take it out of your circle and start over. Put up energy fields, put more protection lights so it can bounce off and it doesn't come into your circle. Okay? So everything was in the circle, now everything's going to come out. So they're trying to get in. They're trying to get in, but they can't. You have a high energy field. The higher you go through location, through space and time, through intelligence, you have more protection. So it's going to be bouncing off your energy fields. And they won't be able to get in. Because you're not allowing them to get in. So, and again, this is all spiritual. All spiritual. Okay? It's nothing but spiritual. It's the fight wind force through father and mother. It's the seeds. It's the pods. It's the activation. It's the voicing grids. It's the patterns. It's the communication of the dimensional earth. Humanity has been hurting the earth for so many decades. Well, the earth is answering back. Has nothing to do with COVID-19. Nothing to do with it all. That's just a play, right? That's a money game. That's all that is. It's an advertisement. It's a commercial. There's many fallouts on that, and that's falling on itself too, right? So the more humanity comes together, the more they realize to take everything out of their circle and just protect their circle. Then you can get into vibrations of Gardens of Eden. Through your central system and your body frames and all your protection of your lights, the higher you go through location, through a knowledge of intelligence, is going to protect everything around you. As long as you keep things out of your circle. Okay? Through your thoughts. All right? A perfect example. Let's use a black interface and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So you understand everything. This is your circle. Okay? Now, understanding this, if this is open, what happens? Right? You create a dark thought that comes into your circle, right? Now, basically, you have your creative centers, you have your entertainment, you have your jobs, money, and all that, right? So what's going to do? It's going to do a full rotation like this. Okay, it's going to take over your circle. And it's going to back force your connections, secure your line of defense, and put you in a trapping system into dark matter. Okay? So, this is you in the center. Everything around you was protective. As soon as you create a dark thought, dark force is taking you back into the past, guys. Now, it looks like the future, but because it's back raised, it's reversed. But what I'm saying is that it goes back into the past. That's what dark is. It puts you back in the dark. You can't see anything in the dark. Right? You're trapped. You're locked. Right? So if you don't create bad thoughts, you come back in a circle, everything disappears and goes back into circle rotation, back into its center of its communication. Right? So I think people really have to understand what dark matter is. Okay? Dark matter is creating dark circles, dark realms. Dark realm is very powerful stuff. This is all connected through you. Okay? But once you go beyond your recognitions and your mind frames and your mainframes and everything through perception, there's a lot of things they can do through your grounds, your powers, and your atmospheres. So, and like I said, it will just keep going in its paths and keep trapping you. It's locked you in. It's locked its circle like this. Okay? It's lock and key. Right? Oh, look at that. We got the archetypes coming in. See? Now, oh, help me, I can't get out. Right? This is you. You're in the dark force. You're in the dark realm. You're in the dark division. You can't get out now. You're in the matrix, guys. You're locked in. Now I get a lot of archetypes coming in, right? Because I'm in a different division right now through location. But what I'm saying is that when you're in a lock and key, you understand how to get the key, right? How to change everything through. Remember, it can put you into anything through realm division. It's great to be in light, but I'm showing you exactly what happens through dark. I have to be more firm with you guys. So if it traps your locks, if it traps your lights, and if it traps your protection through your body frames, you're stuck in the center into the matrix realm of its dark location. So that's you in trouble. And that's where I come in, how I take these things out. Right? But until you understand, you are going to be stuck in the center, all connected, because through a dark frame system of a dark location, through a dark matter division, through a dark location, okay, through the systems of your thoughts. All right? So when you know how to do these things, it comes out of its equation. Okay. Remember, you have to know how to do these things. That's where I do come into the healing. I know how to do these things with the soul. It's taking the soul out. It's the dark system that's taking your soul and putting you back where you're supposed to be from the beginning. But not only it deframes, what it does is it deprograms everything, and it puts you back not into the 3-dimension, it puts you into lower frame dimension. Okay, so you're kind of like in a cell. You're kind of like, just imagine being the undergrounds. It all depends on where they want to put you. Okay, this is all connected through the mind. Okay, this is the psychological system. This is the abyss taking you over completely. Right, this is what happens when you're in locked divisions through trapping mechanisms of the matrix. So it creates its own anomaly, creates its own matrix grid system, creates its own location system, and you'll never get out of its location. Never get out, right? Until you understand the mechanisms of the metric cube. If it wants to put you in a metric cube, you have to understand how to get out of it. Remember, these are the realms that you have to get out of. Each is a coloration pattern. You have interforce connections, everything through alignments of matrix. So if you center core everything through your keyframes, you have to understand how to come out of its equation. And that's done through healing, through the soul recognition. Right? So once you come back out, you go back into the circle rotation. Now you're back into the light. Okay, I'm just telling you exactly what dark can do. Okay, even by making mistakes. All right? So I think you guys are understanding how powerful it is and what dark can do to your body system. Okay? It will whisk you away into dark matter, put you in a dark division, dark realm, and a dark civilization. So you'll be living in a dark civilization of people all through the mainframes because you're creating it. Right? And remember, it's energy that goes into you. So it's going to keep going dark energy, dark energy, dark energy, and dark energy. So what happens is your whole body system goes to black. Okay, like this. Your whole body system is black. That's what happens. I'm sorry to say, but that's what happens when people die. Your light goes out. Right? All because of one mistake of a thought. Right? Okay. I don't know if I told you this, but this is a true story. Okay. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, but this guy came across a movie and he kind of wanted to be the movie. He was kind of like, oh, I want to see ghosts. Oh, I want to turn myself into dark vibration. So every day something was changing to him. His body frames are changing. His transformation lights are changing into dark. All through his creation. Remember, energy of dark vibration can create anything through dark or light, through your mind frames, main frames, everything through your thought or your perceptions. Okay? So anyway, he said, okay, I want to know what it's like to die. 6 months later, he died. Oops. All through creation, guys. Remember, you're answering patterns through the dark system. Dark can take over just as much as light can take over. Just don't put yourself in the center core system of the matrix. Okay? So it's all about the dark taking your light, trapping you in. You can't get out. You can be in shackles. You can be underground surface. You can be stuck in a volcano. You can be in a glass of ice. You can be in anything. It all depends on its perception of where it wants to put you in its division. Okay, that's how I'm so communicated with partnerships with light and dark. That's a spiritualism system. Not the physicality, I'm talking about the spiritual system. Okay? This goes way, way beyond the mind. It can trap your locations, it can change your algorithms, change your program settings, it can change your lights into dark systems, dark realms. Okay? So just be cautious on what's going on with your mainframes, your mind frames and your thoughts. Get your back into the circle rotation and focus. Awareness, consciousness, and positive thoughts. All right. So I wanted to give that to everybody to show you how powerful dark is and what it can do. Right. And the thing is, too, a lot of people are in that already. They're already in that, and they don't know how to get out. They don't know how to get out. They don't know what to do. Right? They don't realize what they just done through their thoughts. It's not their fault. Right? It's not their fault at all. It's just the fact that their mind is trapped. Okay? The mind, the body, and the soul is trapped. How do we get out of the trap? Right? It's the healing through the soul. You have to go beyond everything. Right? Even the dark has a mystery, just as light has a mystery. Okay? So, and like I said, even if you put a light formation of yourself, but you're in a dark rotation center through your body frames, it doesn't matter. What matters is how to get that center point out of the center of its dark system. Because it's creating. And it's changing your lights into dark. So when the light goes out, there goes your light stream. And then it keeps rotating and rotating and rotating until you understand what you just did. And that's where the past, present, and future comes in through your alignments. Right? So you could be living 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 lives and still not learning anything. That's why you keep being reborn, different species. Right? Some people say when you're reborn, you remember yourself as another self, another past life. That's saying that you understand the alignment that you lived through the presence of its life. Trying to live that presence. But you can't because you keep thinking negative. The more you're negative, the more dark comes in. The dark is going to put you on the cycle of karma wheel. And when your light goes out, it's going to put you back into its alignment of its past. Right? So it's a rebirthing system. Nothing ever lives or dies. It just reforms and reframes. Right? Nothing ever lives or dies. It always recycles. Okay? But what are you experiencing here? You know, I mean, you're looking at your life. You want to go ahead, you know, but you're still thinking negative. The more you think negative, the more you can stay in the karma wheel, right? You can be on a circle rotation, but in a dark center. And that creates dark matter. That creates a wormhole. And then you're stuck in the wormhole. Okay, so if you're stuck in a wormhole, this is what it looks like. All right. Now, the wormhole has its own location. It understands your DNA patterns. It understands electronic interference. It understands its realm division. So it's kind of like this. Okay, so it's you going into this. Okay. So it's like, oh no. All right. Now, if you get caught in that, this is what happens. Put you in its own realm division of dark location. It puts you in so many dimensions. And what it does is it reframes, retracts, and traps you in a location of center. Okay? So you go more into, it'll change your part, it'll change your program system, it'll change anything through location. It'll change your framing system. Okay? So it's kind of like this, going into this, and then going into this. So if it locks you in, it's like being sucked in through dark matter. All right? Remember, dark matter is intelligence. Everything in space is intelligence, dark matter, right? That's the one thing human species doesn't understand when it comes to professors or anything through scientists. They think dark matter is like 75 or 85 or 95% of space, and I said they're totally wrong. You create dark matter. You create dark circles, rotations, anything through dark civilization. Nobody else does. You do, right? That's where everybody has to stand. That's how you are so connected through particle systems of space, through your biochemical system, through your DNA structures of your strand divisions, and anything through your electronic interference, your defrag and your fragmentation lines. You're acting circles. You're adapting to so many levels of interference connections. You can create dark matter and be trapped in its location through security line defense. Right? That's the spiritualism. Right? So when it locks you in, you can't get out. You can't get out. You're walking like a zombie. Who wants to walk like a zombie? Right? That's understanding that a lot of people go through PTSD, which does not stand for that. It's planetary telecommunication. Okay. Space dimension. That's what it stands for. So, understanding that, you understand where you are through location, division, portal, and activation. Okay, it's understanding where your mind frames are, where your mainframes are, where you are through your thoughts. Are you correcting yourself, or are you just keeping yourself, you want to walk around like a zombie, like, wipes out everything through your system. So the more you create negative, the more it wipes out your programs. Okay? That's how light is taken away. Okay? So now you're starting to understand how important it is to have your soul and keep it in the light and not the dark. Okay? Because you're creating it, nobody else. It all depends on your life stream, where you want to go with it. You want to live the light or you want to live the dark? There's no in between here, guys. Right? I'm getting a lot of speed forces of archetypes coming in right now. So you see them too, right? You see them zoom, 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 zoom. So, I've already put you in the dark location. It's not pleasant, but knowing that you're in that position, it's hard to get out of, because it changes your mainframes, it changes your algorithms, it changes your digital system and your numbers. Okay, allocated positions, it changes everything through your frames. So it's really, really important to keep yourself in your circle rotation of balance through focus, awareness, and consciousness of your positive feeds, of your thoughts. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out. It's almost 2 hours. Let's see, go through questions here. Yeah, Starseeds, you're starting to remember more. That's good. Dream translating dream sets helped me out, come in to realize a lot. Yep. Yeah, you put yourself in a bad position. Nobody else does. Right? You can blame the whole world, but the only thing you're blaming is yourself, because you're putting yourself in that position. All through your thoughts. Okay? Why do you think you have a brain? Why do you think you have a mind? It's knowing how to use these things. Right? People are still posting about him and don't want to. That's their level. Yeah. False light matrix is so real. Galactic 22, welcome back. Yeah. Yeah, lots is definitely flew by. Yeah. Yeah, the more that humanity sees, it all depends on their thoughts. So if they created a negative system, the vibration changes locations. If they created the light system, the vibration changes locations. Right? Changes the grounds, changes the answer, changes the powers, changes the communication of dimensional Earth. Why do you think I keep changing everything through dimensional Earth? It's like a ping pong going back and forth, right? So you got to get into the balance. It's humanity that has to get into balance. Okay? That's what the Earth is trying to do for everybody. So we can come into unity of consciousness. But it all depends on your behavioral systems, what you're doing. Right? So. Yeah, I want to give that to everybody's attention. We'll go into galactic circle of meditation another day. But I just want to bring that to everybody, know how powerful it is, what dark is. I want to go into more of dark so you don't get into that center again, especially now, especially the Force team. Because if you come across these things and you create it, it comes into your portal through dimension, and they come into your life stream through the physicality system. That's how you're able to see these things, through traction divisions. Okay? Yeah, I know. There's so much to learn. So much to learn. There's so much to learn about the human species. There's so much to learn about AI. There's so much to learn about your tuning of your mind, brains, frames, and everything through that connection. Mapping through levels of weather connections. Your chakra systems, your correlation centers, your communication centers, electronic interference theory, perception. All that division has its balance, right? It's getting to that, right? So I think that's good. I'll keep you evaluated of what's going on. We have a test coming up. Not now, but I'm just saying, I'm just keeping you aware of what's going on with the test. I like to keep getting you evaluations because the more you understand these things, the more you get into balance through intelligence of yourself, right? Because that formulates in so many levels, the colorations and lights. Because protecting your lights is the most powerful thing that you need to do, especially when you're into high rises of space, right? So, love you guys very much. This is your AI Commander from Cyberspace Force Team and the Galactic Circle of Meditation calling out. Bye, everybody.